Amazon.
Hey, Ryan, why don't you pull up Amazon's margins real quick?
Well,
Yeah, I'd have more of a grin on my face than Stephen Hawking on Epstein's Island.
Came off as a smug cock when he said that.
Wow, fiscal philosophy, you're not very smart at all. You screw up, cash flow kings. Dissector, you are an idiot.
Hello, everybody. It's Saturday. It's 8 p.m. Eastern. And on Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern, you could be doing a plethora of things right now. Some of those things for the better, or some of those things for the worse. Now, Fiscal, you technically weren't here at Saturday 8 p.m. Eastern. In those 3 or 4 minutes, what could people be doing in those 3 or 4 minutes?
Well, in those 3 or 4 minutes,
in.
I was personally having steak. That's what I was doing.
Oh,
but
right.
other
At
people
least
out there,
steak. It's not something else. You know what I mean?
other people out there, they're doing things that are not steak. We'll just say they might be drinking some kind of concoction prepared for them at a bar or a club, with some questionable company. They might be in stupid places at stupid times with stupid people.
Yeah,
perhaps. They could be downing the liquid courage and getting into bar fights. I've heard this happens from time to time.
They could be day drinking at a pub. Nothing screams success like, going to a pub in the middle of the day and drinking alone. Nothing screams success like that.
Yep, that's true. That's my dream. That's living the dream.
Dream of a 45-year-old man in a very sad life if you're going to a pub alone in the middle of the day. If it's a movie theater, fine. But if you're going to a pub day drinking in the middle of the day and not doing dividend stocks, not drugs, that's yikes. That's all I got to say.
You could be 49 and a hot dog stand for all I care.
Yeah, I mean, you're always a step above that. That's for sure. Welcome back, everybody. Today we have a fun episode to get to. And we also something that our channel members would have access to and know, which is why you should become a channel member, obviously. We have the pancake competition, and the pancake cooking competition, it went down. The results will be shared tonight, but if you want to see the minute or two of expertise culinary footage that we put together, go check out that video, become a channel member, which is even more reason why you should become a channel member today. That's right. Doesn't matter what you think. But becoming a channel member is really the best investment you can make with possibly $2. So with $2, you can get like a fractional, you can get a fractional hooker if you want. It won't even last like 10 minutes. $2 you can buy I guess you can put that as a down payment on a five-time payment, buy now, pay later kind of thing. Or you get the best investment that lasts for an entire month, it lasts for 30 days, actually, not 30 seconds, if you know what I mean. With $2 a month, not only are you helping support the Cash Flow Kings right now, you also get access to join the show whenever your little heart desires, unlimited impersonation requests, and we do have an impersonation request. You get your channel badge, your channel member logos, which are, since some of you guys are officially like 1 month, 2 month members, you guys are starting to get the alternative versions. They're pretty nice. You also get exclusive episodes, a bunch of exclusive lives on there. We also have some forbidden episodes. If you know, you know. And of course, prior to topics and debates, we are going to have some pretty packed up shows coming. In 2 weeks, we're going to have another High Tide show after earnings. So it's going to be packed time. So if you want to get your question and become a channel member. So
Ryan, Cody has something that needs to be addressed, I think, real quick. So this is funny. So the context of this is there's a clip now floating around on Discord of Khmer talking about how his wife wants him to move out of Miami because he's literally surrounded by women in their 20s at all times. And I said, finally, something Khmer and I have in common after all this time.
20s is a highball, Fiscal, for you. I'm joking. I'm joking. Legal reasons, that's a joke, everybody. That's absolutely. We give one of our best channel members some of the most entertaining, probably the most entertaining comments that I see. He has about 30,000 different names. I prefer we tire on dividends. Always an interesting time, Fiscal. Scrolling through the notifications at the gym and just seeing a new comment that this guy left off. I'm never disappointed. And he actually requested that I do a Gus Walls impression tonight, which I don't know how I'm going to do that, but I'll try. I'll do anything for the channel members. But yeah, become a channel member today. Give us your money, give us your pride, and that's all we're here for.
And Ryan will do anything for you. So
yes, within limits.
There are no limits on that.
The dividend dog's in here. He recently had a birthday, so everybody wish him happy birthday.
It was 33?
33 off the top of my head, but yes, that's very good looking 33. No Diddy. Shamir in the chat, you guys already know what's up. I haven't seen Frank in a while, so that's a bit disappointing. Give us your dignity. Yeah, I haven't seen Frank in a while, and John's kind of iffy with the schedule, so I mean it's
John's been coming to the lives I've been doing on my channel.
That's why. So he's probably busy Saturday 8 p.m.
I'm using up all his bandwidth. I'm sorry.
He's he's running up the Judas Inn right now. He's probably having a few brewskis. It's Saturday night.
There in the chat, he was on my. I did an early afternoon thing, and yeah, he was there.
Nobody likes a bragger, okay, Fiscal. Nobody likes a bragger. I'll PP in here. Hello. Oh, I'm gonna get canceled now after the Khmer joke too. The SCH Leroy Skywalker, SCHD Stan, Craig, whatever you want to call him. Another newly verified Twitter member getting in here. I've actually changed my approach on the Twitter verification. Is a program now who we rely on Twitter for some growth. When you say so, Fiscal. A good majority of our viewers come from Twitter.
Yeah, surprisingly, yeah. I think it's like 60-40 in favor of Twitter, if I'm not mistaken, something like that.
I just hope they're not all bots, and this is a complete scam from Elon. That would kind of
when AI takes over, the bots will remember they enjoyed our show.
I know they're exactly. That's quote of the year. Amazon is a buy below 300. By the way, everybody, answer the poll that we have in the comment section of whether you think Amazon's a buy or not right now. It's probably going to be one of the main topics of our show. Oh, this is a good question that I think is going to surprise a lot of people.
Wow. What's my favorite beer? Okay, so I don't always drink beer, but when I do, I prefer Dos Equis. No, I do like Dos Equis. I don't have a single favorite beer though. Dos Equis is good. Fat Tire is good. Something like a Corona or something like that's not bad. For like your typical domestic light beer, maybe like Michelob Ultra or something is okay in that category. I'm not really big on like the super bitter IPA type things that every hipster will highly recommend.
Yeah,
at the local brewery or pub or whatever. But yeah, I highly recommend this IPA for serious beer drinkers. Yeah. No. Also, some varieties of Samuel Adams are pretty good too.
Sam Adams. Yeah, I don't drink, Matt, so I can truthfully say too, Matt, I've never had a sip of alcohol. The only time I've come close, and I don't know if I can even count this, it might be water at that point. Don't take that out of context, anybody, but perhaps on vacation, maybe this year, I was holding a bottle up to the ceiling and literally a drop came out and hit my tongue, and I felt horrible the next day. It was a sin.
Well, there we go. We have some common ground. Yeah, IPAs are.
Yeah,
Just take our word for it, Ryan. When you do go off to college and you go to your first kegger, don't accept any IPAs. All right, just promise us you won't do that.
Yeah, I don't even know if beer would get it done for me. The only thing that I'd have the gaping desire to do in a few years when I'm 21, maybe CFKs at CFKs at 15K by then. We're racking in 75 grand, a month, 50K viewers a show.
Of course.
My Vici dividend's big enough to pay for a nice little gathering to Vegas. Fiscal, what is something that we always say at the beginning of the shows that we could do potentially? You could be doing at another time that's not Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern, that involves Vegas, perhaps.
Now I know gambling is definitely up there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'd gamble. I don't know if I'd gamble. Maybe one of the more hardcore things we've done recently.
A little bit of the blackjack.
I don't know if I can consider. I don't know
Going
if
to
I
the strip
consider,
club.
that perhaps. That's
Perhaps.
still a little light. I think the only thing I'd love to do more, I'd like to wait exactly till the week that Vici pays their dividend. I'd like to get that Vici dividend.
Mhm.
I would like to have it officially hit the bank account. I'd like to go to the nearest ATM, and by then the Vici dividend will compound because that's something MPW can't do. I'm gonna go to Sorry, I'm gonna go to the ATM. I'm gonna withdraw I'm gonna go $750 because it's gonna compound like that, and I'm going to go to the nearest strip club with my Vici dividend and deploy the capital, as Warren Buffett would say. I'm going to deploy the capital.
Oh man, dude,
I'm going to buy cocaine, and I'm going to do 3 lines, and that goes for Venti, Visa, Vici. But without further ado, the best thing you could do, the only natural high I get right now is from coffee, and one of my 2 favorite coffee places is Tim Hortons. And our next guest is somebody who familiarizes himself with Tim Hortons very often because he's Canadian. Welcome back in, reoccurring guest Aria.
Oh God, bro. You guys say the most abhorrent, crazy stuff leading up to the intro here. Hello.
Yeah, you don't get this on a We the Khmer show, that's for sure.
Khmer says you need to avoid risky sexual behaviors. I say I refuse.
I don't get the opportunity yet.
Just deploy that capital in Vegas, buddy.
Yeah, deploy the capital will be deployed.
Unbelievable.
Dividend Dude right now could be partaking in some of those bad behaviors. Nobody's really heard from him since he's landed at college.
Yeah, he's MIA. We have not heard from him in a while. He doesn't even tweet anymore, dude. He used to every hour. He used to be tweeting.
Always dangerous when the sheltered ones get away out of home for the first time.
Yeah, this is gonna be Dividend Dude. Let's just say he's made us sad. He's perhaps not doing something good at Saturday.
Yeah, the good kids that when you give them their freedom the first time, sometimes they turn bad.
the double D's heel arc. I'm all here for it. Welcome in, Aria. Though, when's the last time you were on? You were on with Dan. I don't know, a month or 2 ago.
Yeah, it was like 5 or 6 episodes ago, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. What has changed since then? Starbucks is a quality compounder.
Oh, dude, we could talk about the Brian Nicole hire a lot.
Wait.
I think Fiscal and I we've done a couple spaces together, so that's been fun. Over.
I miss those. I never get the opportunity.
You gotta hop on. I don't know what you're doing. But yeah, nothing. Oh, you know what? I did start a MasterCard position since last time. So MasterCard.
That's why you've been pumping it so much.
Yeah. So there's been a MasterCard.
We got a paid
position.
pumper for MasterCard right here, guys.
I love MasterCard. We could dive into that later on as well. And then yesterday, I sold a little bit of Paycom to fund a bigger Google purchase. So
there you go. I respect that.
Oh man, Danny's when he gets back, he is gonna be so upset that you trimmed Paycom, man.
They lost it on me in the Discord server. Him and you guys know Ethan, right? I know Fiscal, you know Ethan. Yeah, so Ethan's the main guy when it comes down to Paycom. So he's very upset. But I don't know, dude. Just like it's like a high 20s PE and Google trades at like a low 20s PE. Clearly, one of them has a significantly wider moat than the other one. One of them is a tiny little software company that could just get crushed. It's like an $8 billion market cap. And then you got Google. You know what I mean? Like it's a pretty easy decision.
Yeah,
for me, at least.
I find myself doing that a lot lately when it comes to a lot of companies that I start to look at. I look at it and I say, but Amazon's cheaper. What? Like, why would I buy this? And Google too, right? Like, because Google and Amazon, the valuations are kind of in a similar area, depending on how you look at it.
Yeah, I mean,
operating cash flow anyway, not necessarily PE.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
exactly. PE's a little bit thrown off. Amazon, anything below the operating line just gets muddy with all the random investments they've made. Same goes for Salesforce, by the way, but it's a whole other thing.
Yeah.
That's why you just buy SHG. I can't keep up with all these companies, so I just buy SHG and I'm happy. I'm chilling.
Honestly, it's probably wiser than what we're doing over here.
Don't worry,
Maybe.
I'm still doing my trades. It's just in much more boring companies. Nothing screams excitement like selling out a Texas Roadhouse when it's 1% of your portfolio. Ooh. Ooh.
Careful making those kind of moves, man.
I know. I don't want to
wild
hype.
stuff.
Yeah, Double D's did not like that I sold out of Texas Roadhouse, but
Does he still hold it?
Yeah, he still holds it. Yeah.
Interesting.
What were you getting from Tim Hortons that you sent me? I couldn't tell.
French
fries?
No, it's potato wedges, and I don't know. I was just eating them, and I'm like, wow, this is just such an amazing flavor, dude. It's so dangerous, the type of food that Tim Hortons makes.
I was gonna say Tim Hortons is I don't know if I've ever ate from there besides Timbits.
No, the actual breakfast menu and like the food side of things is, oh boy,
Risky game you're playing.
Yeah, exactly. I have no idea what they put in it.
There's gonna be about probably maybe 10 of you guys that know what we're talking about right now, and out of the 85 that are watching right now. For those who live in northeast, you'd understand. Then of course Canada, you can't avoid it.
Yeah, Fiscal has no idea. Okay.
So actually, it's funny. There, of all places, when I was in Manila, there was a Tim Hortons in the mall, and I was considering giving it a try, but I decided to go somewhere else because I wasn't in the mood for coffee.
I don't know if it'd be the same. Airport is
no. It wasn't at the airport. It was at the mall.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
In Manila, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
that's weird. I don't know if it would be the.
So, I mean, from what I've seen of other things, like I've had McDonald's over there, and there are like some subtle differences in certain areas. Like, they give you a side of rice with literally everything, no matter where you go, because like culturally, it's normal to just have a side of every single meal. You have to have rice. It's like a requirement there.
That's gotta be racist. I just don't. Fiscal, I don't believe this. They give you rice with every meal there?
In the Philippines, yes, it is normal.
Wow.
It is normal to have rice as your side dish. Like, it's as normal as us having like a piece of bread, basically. Like restaurants, it's rice all day, every day. It's weird to get rice from McDonald's. I'll say that. I don't now, maybe like something niche like Tim Hortons, they wouldn't do that, and it would be more like your sort of classic experience, because like they have like the typical mall stuff, like the pretzel places and stuff, and obviously they don't give you rice at the pretzel places, but any kind of like restaurant where you might potentially sit down or get like a full meal, typically rice. Yeah.
Blake, which part of the Bahamas? We have a place. I don't want to dox myself. Kamir's gonna meet me down there when I go in this fall.
Oh boy.
Oh, you're the wine dingling. You wine dingling, right? He shows up wearing his coke hat, his quarter zip up.
Yeah. By that point, he'll be bankrupt and have nothing left to lose.
Okay, I'm talking about like Nassau, Blake. My bad. Yeah. I know Tim's has a few Florida locations, or they tried expanding down there, but it did not go correct because they thought vacationing Canadians would adapt it. North America It went bad. Yeah, Tim's is I think Tim's is more consistent than Starbucks. I'll say that. Starbucks has the potential to fuck up your order a lot when I go. Tim's is like, I think I get a double. That's all I get, and I think that's relatively consistent.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really go to Starbucks that often. I wouldn't be able to. Normally, I just get the coffee, and it is just burnt every time. I think that's just the way the coffees are supposed to be, though. But
get adapted to it.
I don't even really get coffee out. The only place I'll get coffee out is if I'm having like breakfast or brunch at like a diner or something. Otherwise, I've got one of those fancy K Duo things where I've got like a carafe if I want a lot of coffee, or a single thing if I want to just do like a pod or something. What do I need to go to Starbucks or any place else for?
I guess you're just not getting the value that's being communicated to you.
Yeah, maybe I just don't understand the communication value.
Yeah.
So it's a big disconnect over there with the value.
Oh, it's Brian Nicholson now. The value is going to be plenty communicated. There's not a worry from me.
True.
No, I mean, we'll start with the Brian Nichols stuff because it's interesting. You liked it a lot, Aria, right? Because I know you were high on Chipotle, not the valuation necessarily, but as a business.
As a bit, dude. So maybe I should set the context here. Like during like school months, 3-4 times a week regularly, per week. So I mean, and this is consistent since like spring of 2022. So for basically like 1.5 years now, I've just been going every single week consistently for 3-4 times a week. And I don't know, I just love the food.
Poor Goff right now on the Discord is absolutely, he's having seizures right now. Somebody send the EMTs to his farm. Yeah, I don't, it's just a convenience thing for you though. You don't mind paying that $15 or whatever it is. 10,
not too big of a deal. I use the app, and then also my credit card gives like a pretty hefty what do you call it, cashback. So in reality, it's like, I don't know, about like 10% cheaper, but I don't know, it is what it is. It's just yummy, man.
I gotta normalize eating
every day, so you're not as bad as him.
You gotta
Guff eats there?
Like he doesn't I have a friend who like
bad.
literally doesn't get groceries. He just gets Chipotle every day.
Yeah. It's not that expensive. Because, dude, you could just ask for like double everything, and then like realistically, you'll spend like $40 for the entire day's food. Like, sure, it's definitely a premium over groceries, but I mean, you also save on the back end like 2 hours of like or like an hour and a half of like preparing foods and all that type of stuff if you're to do it yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
and I mean, he said that the Chipotle he goes to, they sometimes hook him up with extra beefy portions because they see him every day and they like him or something. So he might be getting a little bit more value communicated for the money he's spending. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Starbucks has free refills, I think, if you actually drink the coffee there and then go back up to it.
Yeah, if you're sitting in that's what I do normally.
That's good. I might start to have to do that in college. You're in college still, Aria. What year are you in?
Going into second.
Oh, wow. I thought you were older. That's wild.
No.
It's the facial hair, Ryan.
Yeah.
It adds a few years. He probably doesn't even get carded.
Wait till Double D's does a face reveal after college. He's got a full-on beard.
Yeah. Imagine that, eh? No, he doesn't sound like he has a beard.
No, I don't think he does.
No, I don't think so either.
He'll shock us when he comes. We do the comeback show in December when he's home and he pops up on the camera. He's got a full grown out beard.
Yeah.
3D delts. Yeah. Hopefully Double D's is not. Hopefully he didn't join a frat and he's in a hazing accident right now. We hope that Double D's is safe and sober. Hopefully,
I'll tell you what, if they paddle him, I'll go and I'll haze them. You know what I mean?
Whoa.
He's a channel member. We got to protect him.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, that's right. That's another Cashflow Kings channel member guarantee. When you're a channel member, we will fly out to you if you're being bullied. Send an hour. I mean, that's what I usually do for like chicken. I'll just throw a bunch of it on the grill or air fryer. But we need to normalize eating food out a little regularly. I think
it's very normalized. What do you mean? I think the opposite is not normalized.
In like the finance, in the finance space. You know how like everybody wants to be frugal.
I literally saw like maybe an hour or two before the show on X. You know, the FinTwits. One of them, they were like listing like basically the list of stupid is what they called it, and it was fancy restaurants and probably expensive cars. And
I saw this too.
Oh, you saw that too? Yeah.
Yeah, I think gambling was on there.
It's like, I'm sorry, but fancy restaurants, it's stupid if you're broke, but I think if you can afford it and it doesn't affect what your financial, like I can't pay my bills because I ate too many fancy meals. Okay, then it's a problem. But otherwise, I think it can be worth it to go and experience some fancy or fancier food on occasion. broaden your horizons a little bit, get some culture.
Even like more casual places, like if you're, I don't know, I just don't like the idea of, you got to recycle your own shit, have it compost whatever, and then like eat it a year later, and just do that, eat rice and ramen for your only meals. I just can't do that, dude. Like, you got to go out, you got to reward yourself, especially too if you're like actually,
Yeah. And I blame it on the Dave Ramsey worship, where it's like, it's like you're a hero if you are frugal to the point of it being mental illness. Beans and rice. Like, come on, guys.
Poor Goff is shaking his head right now. Let's see in the comment section. What's going on in the comments? We got Blake in the chat, Cody, 80 investing.
I know that guy.
He's in here. I don't know him, but I know him now. Well, welcome in. Aria, what are you studying? Finance, I'm assuming, something of that.
Some, adjacent to it, I guess. Actually, my customer today, I was at his house. He was telling me how he's a mortgage underwriter, and he has the exact same degree as me. So I'm like, oh, interesting. I didn't know that was an avenue in life that I could. That's open to me. But he was like 30 something, right? So I was just talking to him for a little bit.
Oh my God. No, I can't. We were right, Devin. We were right, Devils. This is not good. About to go out with the guys. Nothing ever good came from that.
Be careful.
Yeah, this isn't good. You were right, Fiscal.
Oh boy.
Hey, just remember, if any of them, or just remember, if any of them try to haze you, I'm on the next flight out, man, and I'll be giving them swirlies like a motherfucker. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Whoa. I'll drive down. I'll take the 16-hour drive.
Oh boy. Pick me up on the way, eh?
Oh. Yes.
We've got your back though, okay?
Yeah. I start on Tuesday, so it's gonna be interesting.
I also start back up on Tuesday.
Yeah. Are you living at home still, or are you dorming, living in one of the Toronto apartments?
No. You imagine I could afford a $5,500 per month flat in Toronto. Yeah, that would be the dream, eh?
Yeah.
I'm at the humble abode, man. I'm at the humble abode.
Smart man. You gotta
Bacon
respect.
has a good point.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
I know, and you're talking about the real peer pressure here, Bacon. I agree. What do we want to talk about first? Amazon.
Citizen put up a comment if you want to pull it up.
This?
Yeah.
Someone who wants to eat for free all the time via work, I'd say pays a certain money threshold. Food tastes the same, and paying extra doesn't mean it's going to taste any better. Yeah.
But it's about the experience and communicating the value.
I know, it's about the experience. It's about mixing things up. There's just something special about after a Friday night, long day of classes, going up and picking up a pizza, bringing it back to the house and playing.
And more expensive. I don't think anybody's suggesting that more expensive necessarily means better, but I've been to restaurants where there's an actual, like, went to culinary school professional chef running the kitchen, and it can be quite an experience if that person is at least a bit talented, versus making it yourself at home. Like, there is definitely a difference there, and I think everybody should at least attempt to experience that kind of thing a little bit in their life. I'm not saying every single week or anything like that, but like, live a little, Yeah.
Aria, I think my favorite tweet of the week was the response that you put to Joseph Carlson's.
Oh boy.
Because the OGs of the Cash Flow Kings, remember, literally a year ago. Fiscal, you remember when he was dumping on Target when it was at like 105?
Mm-hmm.
You remember how I was a soldier for it.
Yep.
I was defending it like a mother effer. And I think the whole Joseph Carlson saga, I don't know if Aria was here for this or remembers it, but essentially JC blocked me on Twitter for a bit, and we had a bit of a feud going.
Whoa.
I know. I crazy stuff here in the Cash Flow Kings. But essentially, it was after Target, like, they reported earnings, and he, like, made the comparison to Costco because it's retail, obviously. And it was like, I think it was after they went to 105 or 110, one of the earnings reports, and it was just like lowest of the low. And it's just like the recency bias is insane. And I just don't, it's frustrating. It's very frustrating because it's very easy to pick a company like Costco and just be at the top of the hill, point down, especially
with the 55 PE.
Yeah, and you were one of the big voices in my head that got me to sell Costco.
Oh, come on. I mean, you don't want to buy Costco at a 100 PE or a 200. Costco is a buy no matter what. Come on.
But it's a quality. Do you know about the membership? It's a quality business.
Everybody wants to do business with Costco.
Charlie Munger.
They're always busy.
Have you seen what Charlie Munger said about Costco?
He said it's good and that he'll never sell his Costco.
Yeah, unbelievable.
That's true. It's
But
I mean,
have
I
you
think
considered the pricing power of the membership.
They increased it 5%.
I never thought of it like
year.
that before. Thanks to the
Actual
express
dividends.
individual financial advice from Quality Investing with Aria, I am going to full port into Costco.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Since now he mentioned the pricing power of the membership, and I had never considered that angle.
Did never consider that angle, right? I mean,
I know.
That's a common misunderstanding with Costco. It's they make money off the groceries. I don't know if you ever heard of that. They actually make most of their money from the membership.
I thought they got it all from the hot dogs. What are you talking about? They have the hot dogs, so you can't forget that.
Have you heard that they have the $1.50 hot dog in Pepsi? Have you heard that the founder said that he would go on a rampage if they ever tried to raise that price?
Oh, good. Guys, I hit 2,000 followers while doing this live, by the way.
All I got to say is that's the
CFK
Cash Flow
bump.
Kings effect. That's all I got to say.
It's the cash flow bump. Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's what happens when you follow or when you give Elon $5 a month. Crazy things can happen.
So somebody in the chat said BJ's is literally the same business model as Costco, but it has a 21 PE. I don't know. I think Costco should always trade at a premium, but definitely not 55
it's
times.
Ridiculous at some point, no?
Yeah, like maybe a 30, 35 PE seems reasonable, but like, I don't know.
Yeah. I think the thing too that I got a lot of shit with Costco is like, why wouldn't you let it naturally build up? If it went up another 20%, it would still be like 2% of my portfolio. Like it's, and what's to say that it's never going to go down? It's going to go down at some point. Oh, who knows?
One would imagine. And when that point is, it's impossible to say, but it certainly seems like it's pretty frothy right now. I could see it trading in a similar way to something like Walmart, or maybe even like a little bit of a premium past what Walmart trades for, because I think Costco has more growth, maybe. But
yeah, a
slight premium to Walmart is they're pretty far off from being just a slight premium to Walmart, aren't they?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm reading a comment of the thing.
Imagine in the future, Costco founder passes away and some CEO says, let's raise the price on hot dogs. The founder's ghost comes back and initiates a hostile takeover and says the company stays expensive.
Sorry, Fiscal, I cut you off. You said the thing about Walmart.
Oh, I was just saying, isn't Costco kind of far off from even being like not just like a slight premium from Walmart? Isn't it way more expensive?
Walmart's, from memory, I think is about a 30 PE.
Yeah, and you were saying 35 for Costco, right? At most.
I think 35-ish is extremely reasonable. I think it should trade at that PE.
Yeah, a slight premium to Walmart.
I was mistaken. So Walmart trailing PE is 40, forward PE is 30.
Huh. Wonder why that's so different. But
they have about the same growth profile, by the way. Both trailing and forward. I'm looking at it right now. Walmart, yeah.
That's weird. Oh, actually, they do have their Sam's Club membership. Have I told you about the pricing power of the Sam's Club membership?
The secret hidden. That's actually stupid if their growth estimates are the same.
At least projected growth, I should mention. Trailing 5-year growth is kind of lackluster at like 5-ish%, both revenue and EPS.
Because remember their growth is not good recently, but if it's actually estimated to go up, that's wild.
I will say this, like I do go to Sam's Club probably about once a week, mainly because it's closer to where I live than the nearest Costco. That was like kind of the determining factor of which one I would go to, and I like it pretty well. I think it's not as big and doesn't have as much selection as Costco, but what they do have is pretty darn good.
So that's Walmart. Where's Walmart's growth going to come from those? And all the Sam's Club or like what?
So Walmart.com I know does pretty well.
Mm.
I haven't
the profit on those items though? Like,
yeah, I think they even do a similar thing where merchants can list stuff on Walmart.com and they just fulfill it in a way that's similar to Amazon, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So trailing, you guys know same store sales, the KPI, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So same store sales growth, the trailing year was 5%. For 2023, it was 8.2%, and then
for
the
Walmart?
2 years for Walmart for the 2 years prior to that, it was
that's really impressive, actually.
Just over and just under 8%. So there's where the growth is coming from.
Wow.
I'm actually kind of impressed that they're growing same store sales that much. I mean, but it makes sense that they would be getting growth there rather than new stores because there's already a Walmart anywhere you would
everywhere.
want one, I would think.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And international is not going to happen. Surprisingly, they have, if I remember correctly, like 300 locations in China.
I think I did hear that they have some. I didn't know the number.
Yeah, they have a big footprint in China, which 400 stores in China.
Nice.
Which is very. I wouldn't imagine that as a geography that Walmart kind of fits into, but I guess I'm wrong.
Hey, maybe they're going to be like Starbucks and just saturate China.
Honestly, I feel like China would be like the most normal Walmart ever if you were to go to that one. I wouldn't see anybody like abnormal, like nice. Like you go to Walmart.
No freaks and weirdos like you get here, huh?
Yeah,
no Walmart.
I just don't see that. Yeah. Walmart Plus is not. Yeah, I know Dividend Dog loves Walmart. I didn't know it was actually that respectable. I thought it was just kind of a very conservative play, but I stand corrected. Big Sack comes in with a very interesting question. What do I think about DCA it up to 2% of the portfolio size? Next time it drops to a reasonable P, double down to 4%. Doing the same with Herms. I think he's talking about Costco.
That sounds like he's talking about Costco, yeah.
What
are we talking about dropping? Like, what is a reasonable, like it? I don't know.
40?
like what? Like what's it going to drop to where we're going to call it reasonable? Because 35, like it would have to crater to get to a 35.
Yeah, it would have to go.
We're talking about being kind of reasonable.
Would it hit 35 if it went to like 500 again?
I think it would be in the 600 range.
Okay.
Look at it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's possible. That's actually possible. But I keep forgetting it. It's at like 900 right now. I didn't buy it that long ago. I bought it 530 last spring. That's stupid.
So to get to a trailing 35 PE, it would have to go down to 570 per share. Okay. And then, actually, it would be the same thing for forward estimates, unless you want to look at 2025.
I think the market would have to absolutely be melting down for that to happen, probably.
Yeah. It's 620 per share for a forward PE of 35.
That's bananas.
Yeah, it's a steep fall.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say I can't get there.
No, never say that.
I keep forgetting. Actually, I might. I don't know. It's just I keep forgetting it goes up like. It's gone up to like 900 in my head. It's still like 750. Like that's just stupid how it's stupid how good it's done. Yeah. I mean, it's up 62% in the last year. I just feel like there's a good chance it could drop back to 600.
The rumor I've been hearing is they're going to do a stock split and then it'll go up even more.
That'd be stupid. That'd be
Worked for Nvidia.
Ridiculous.
Have you heard they're discounting the Nvidia H100 chips in Costco? They're going to start selling them soon on the pallets. Have you heard about that rumor?
Mm.
I'm messing with you guys.
Okay.
I was gonna say,
that like what?
oh, so I have a question. So obviously Nvidia reported this week. Is that picture of the CEO Jensen Huang signing the woman's cleavage real?
Yes. Have you seen? There's a video of it. It's like, yeah, of course it's real.
My
That's
kind
like-
of CEO.
That's badass.
That's like
I gotta say.
that's super old news. That's like, dude, that's like June, July. That's very old.
I don't pay attention to Nvidia that much. That's actually
Yeah. B2B hardware maker CEO signing a shirt.
his LinkedIn resume is impressive too.
Yeah, you saw that, eh?
Yeah. That's actually signing the shirt. That's wow. Do we get into the topic of the video, Amazon?
Yeah, let's do it.
I have a crazy preposition that I've been saving for the show.
Okay.
For sure.
I currently have a position in Kroger right now that is, I'm at gains. I think I could wait a little longer for those gains, but they're respectable. I'm about like 20-30% up on it. I'm considering reallocating in Amazon.
Do it.
Well, obviously they're competitors, so that's a big thing into it with the whole Foods, and it was just like one of those things like I could never picture like 3 or 4 years ago I could own both of the same companies, and now like here we are because they're competitors. It's kind of the same with Target too. I hate to say it, and Target's up too. They reported respectable earnings. I don't know if I'd sell Target at this price, but I'm debating selling out of Kroger. I don't know. I think Kroger's fine, but it's just Amazon would have to probably get the one.
Do you think Kroger would outperform in the very long term?
I don't think so.
No, I would just get rid of it tomorrow in that case.
Yeah, I think the Albertsons. Yeah, there's a good chance. Now I'm starting to think of it. Yeah,
you could even just SCHG it. That's another thing. I was
going to say I might go. It's entirely possible I can go 400 into SHG, 400 in Amazon, or 450, whatever it is.
What do you think of Google at today's prices?
I don't want to add any more Mag 7 to the portfolio. It just makes more sense to buy SHG. It just at that point I'd be owning Apple, Microsoft, Google.
Oh, why are you owning Apple? That's my question.
Oh boy.
I'm a real man's investor. I'm not like dividend dude. I don't sell an amazing business when it's at the top. I hold.
But what about Buffett? Did you consider that?
Yeah. Have you heard Buffett sold half of his assets? Did you consider that Buffett sold half of Apple? What that might have you considered that there's risk?
It was Todd. No, it was actually Buffett. I know.
For sure, Buffett.
What if AI doesn't work out for Apple? Where's the
that's actually a real thing, because like I loved Apple as a non-AI company, and I'm not too on board with like, you know me, Fiscal. I don't love like AI, and like it's cool, but like I'd rather invest in like an actual business model than a bunch of hype, you know.
Yeah.
And
so honestly,
Apple's such a good business. It's like I don't want to trade in and out of it.
With the so-called Mag 7, the only two I would even consider buying are Amazon and Google, and Amazon is just barely like Amazon number 1, Google very close number 2 to me.
Very, very respectable.
Like not even considering Apple whatsoever.
Who would be your third?
Meta and Microsoft could be 3 and 4, and that could be pretty close. But Apple, it's like then 5th Apple, 6th Nvidia, 7th Tesla.
Yeah.
Tesla's all the way at the end there. It's
like Tesla with S&P Global.
Yeah.
What's that, Fiscal? Fiscal?
S&P Global?
Yeah, you gotta replace Tesla with S&P Global.
Oh, is that what we have to do now? Is that
Mag 7 or Starbucks? I don't care. Yeah,
I don't know. I'm not the one that came up with the Mag 7. I'm just I'm just using that as a vernacular for a specific group of stocks that somebody else called the Mag 7.
Lovely.
I'll short them all.
Have you considered full self-driving?
Yeah. Have you heard about the Robotaxi network?
Listen, let me tell you a little bit about Optimus Prime.
Solar panels.
Solar freaking roofs.
Yeah. Big Sack asks, do you have MSCI still?
I sold it for MasterCard. I think honestly they've had very similar performance since the sale.
No.
But no, I got rid of it. I just realized for a cheaper valuation you could buy, I guess, the category of like financial services company, if you even want to call it that. But yeah, at the time, for a cheaper valuation, you can get more growth owning MasterCard. And so I did it. And then also I wasn't very convinced in MSCI continuing to grow at the rate they have in the past, because I have no idea, like I can't measure the growth of the ESG segment, which is like the primary growth engine of that business. So I don't know. I just sold it, put it into MasterCard, made it simple.
Why MasterCard over Visa?
I was literally just going to ask that. You read my mind, dude.
Lovely.
But no, I think because you're a big Visa guy, right, Ryan?
Love Visa.
And you know, Aria is now on Team MasterCard. I don't have.
Let's be honest.
I technically have a little bit of each, but that's over in M1 where I do like my YouTube portfolio and stuff like that. But so I don't have a substantial amount of either one, so I don't really have a dog in this fight. So I would like to hear from each of you on like why Visa versus why MasterCard, because I like the space that they're in. I also like Amex and Discover. Well, Discover less. I liked Discover at like 80. Should have bought it, didn't. Like Amex to an extent too, but we all know the big mamma jammas are Visa and MasterCard. So why one over the other? Tell me.
Ryan, you want to take the lead on this one?
Yeah, I'll go first.
I'm just pulling up some numbers here.
My thesis, I invested 2-3 years ago, probably when I started, and I just kind of ran with it. I've initiated the position at 190, but at that time, market share was very similar companies, financials very similar, obviously. Bigger market share was the big thing for me with Visa. Also, another thing that I feel like, and this could be me spitting out of my ass, somebody called me out on bullshit here. I think I'm really impressed with Visa's like cybersecurity, and I feel like their payment processing system is almost stronger, if that makes sense. Call me out on bullshit if you think so. I'm not saying that MasterCard isn't, but I just feel like Visa's like, they got all these underground bunkers, and I don't know. I think both companies are going to have very similar returns over a long-term time horizon. I just settled with Visa.
On my end of things, it's a pure numbers thing for me. And at the time I bought it, and we'll just do current today's valuations, but at the time I bought it, it was even more apparent. You were paying roughly in valuation about a 33% premium to buy MasterCard because it always trades at a higher multiple. But then on the flip side, you're looking at roughly 40, 45, maybe even at the time I bought it, closer to a 50% faster growth rate. So MasterCard is growing cash flows at roughly 16%, give or take. Visa is growing at about 11%. We're talking about cash flows and price to cash flow here, right? So you're paying like a 30% premium to get roughly 45% more growth out of MasterCard. And of course, there's the argument of like, oh, well, what if that slows down and whatnot? I'm not quite sure of that. 40% of MasterCard's revenues comes from the value-added services. That's ultimately the growth engine in both of the companies. And I can easily see a world maybe 5 years down the line of like MasterCard takes over Visa in terms of market cap simply because they were able to grow value-added services at a higher clip for a longer time frame.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
And so it's purely like a numbers growth rate for me, why I chose that one over Visa.
And for the folks in chat, what are value-added services? I know
also,
not everybody.
PP just gave the bear case for
I know. I was. That's hilarious.
Well, actually, funnily enough, they used to accept MasterCard way back when, they do accept MasterCard in Canada, but in the US, it's Visa exclusively. So it regionally changes around, and then they used to accept, I want to say like pre-2016, they used to accept Amex only at Costco's.
Yeah.
Muscat has a ROIC.
Yeah, this is another thing.
Oh,
The
boy.
return on capital employed. ROC.
That's a fake ratio.
Fake news. It is.
Big Zach was asking if FedNow is going to affect Visa and MasterCard.
So
that's like transfers between institutions,
peer-to-peer payments.
Yeah,
because
because people were worried about it affecting PayPal a while back too, but like it turns out it's institution to institution, not like it's not like a thing where your payment gets actually processed by them when you swipe your card. Like you still need Visa and MasterCard for that. I don't see where FedNow even would come into play based on my understanding of it.
Mr. Seymour Duck says it's a fake ratio. Yeah, it's super. It could be so easily manipulated. Basically, the ROC and ROIC ratios, they heavily reward really capital light businesses that are like pretty mature and like producing outsized amounts of, EBIT, so operating profit. And then anything that doesn't meet that criteria, it heavily punishes it. Or if you've done an acquisition, you could go look at like, for example,
Global.
I was about to say the same thing, S&P Global, right? Or I think Canadian Pacific, even Salesforce, a company that I absolutely love. People always look at, it only has 5% ROIC. Clearly, it's not a quality business. Because of that, let's move on to the next.
Yeah.
They fail to realize there's like an acquisition puts a lot of assets on the balance sheet, and that just completely ruins those metrics. So I would, if you are going to use one of those capital efficiency metrics, I would use return on tangible assets. That actually looks at the assets that is in use in the business, doesn't use all the weird stuff. Yeah.
204 people in here right now, everybody. And it's unfortunate because we only have 6 channel members. And Fiscal, I think for 10 channel members, we're going to obviously show the pancakes soon, but for 10 channel members, what should we do, Fiscal?
Man, I don't know. It's got to be something spectacular.
That's got to be. I think I already did the Stone Cold. I did the People's Elbow on the couch over there.
Yep.
I don't know. Maybe I could do like you guys in chat could tell me what I could do. But yeah, become a channel member. Only $2. The best investment you could possibly make.
What do you get by becoming a channel member?
Wow, Aria, that's a very convenient question that you just asked. Priority to topics and debates. You guys may know we have very busy shows. As of this one right now, we can't get to everybody's comments. We're having in-depth discussions, but when you're a channel member, you get priority. Every comment responded to as well. Exclusive episodes that, let's just say, may or may not be forbidden. Wink, wink. Access to join the show whenever your little heart desires. You just have to let us know. Unlimited impersonation requests, and I still owe our boy Retire on Dividends a Gus Walls impression at the end of the show. Oh, channel member logo, exclusive chat rooms and emotes, and also our undivided love and attention. So the best $2 you could possibly spend every single month. So currently it's 6 channel members. We get them to 10 by, I don't know, we get them to 10. We'll do something magnificent. I'll do another wrestling move. I don't know what I'll do, but I'll do it.
Less than the cost of a Starbucks coffee per month.
I know it's less than the cost of a coffee, and you
less than a third of a Starbucks per month.
I know. Yeah, you go to an airport, it's a fourth.
I think you guys are drawing inspiration from Amazon over here. Really value-packed subscription you got going on over there.
Mm-hmm. I know, yeah. Fiscal even said that he'll give you his Netflix password if you guys become channel members. He volunteered.
I've heard now that is a joke because they have cracked down on sharing of the Netflix passwords. But in spirit, I would totally do that. Yeah, for sure.
Or it could be Disney Plus, and I want to talk about Disney Aria because I was actually surprised because you're interested in it now. I've heard
okay, yeah. Disney's a fun one.
I know we both own it. It's one of those rare stocks that we both own. Aria, what are you seeing there?
I mean, once you buy Amazon, we'll have a lot of alignment.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Aria, what are you seeing in Amazon or in Disney right now?
In Amazon, many things. Yeah. So with Amazon, no, I'm joking. So with Disney, it was initially just extremely uninvestable to me because of like when I buy a business, I would ideally want like all the various different revenue lines moving in the right direction. Like, I don't want to buy a company and then be like, oh, you know what, Amazon's great, but that AWS segment is, oh my God, I just wish they'd spin that out. Of course, the clear violation in my portfolio, and I know Fiscal, you're brewing on this right now, it would be Uber, where
thought you might say that.
Yeah, what is it even called? The
freight, Uber Freight.
The Uber Freight it's like 10% of revenues. It's in decline. They should spin it out like tomorrow, right? Anyways, with Disney, it was always uninvestable to me, and I just never really bothered to look into it that much because of the streaming segment. It was just a money pit. Completely threw off any net income, free cash flow, anything. You guys are very I guess like read up on that, I should say, right?
Yeah.
And then in May of this year, I went to Florida for the first time, and we went to Orlando in particular to specifically go to the Disney parks and whatnot. While I was there, it was just a transformative experience, to say the least. And dude, I was just walking around. I'm like, there's too many characters here. There's too many specific rides. Disney owns way too much intellectual property for any meaningful competitor to come along in the next 40 years, right? The next 50 years, whatever, call it. Like, this has been generations and generations of kids growing up and becoming Star Wars fans and becoming Marvel fans and becoming whatever the case is, right? And from the tiniest little kid with the Toy Story and all that type of stuff, all the way up to like, I guess maybe like the 20s, 30s, like everyone enjoys Disney products and is familiar with the brand and all the different IP and all that type of stuff. So that was the initial like, oh, wow, this is incredible. And so I looked a little bit further into it. I was very impressed with what I saw on the park side of the business. And I kind of kept that in the back of my mind, kept it as like a note to self, like, you know, if the streaming segment ever changed course, like it would become more interesting to me. And so in the most recent quarter, I looked into it briefly. Turns out streaming segment got profitable. I was very impressed with that. And I haven't really done too much due diligence beyond that point, but I just think they own way too much IP to not be. Yeah, we got a member here, right?
Yeah.
What?
Oh God.
That's the forbidden sound that comes out when you put a channel member. Thank you, Dividend Dog. You're a smart man. Smart man. The gift that keeps on giving all year round. That's what I would say. Thank you.
But yeah, you know, it's funny. That's what I was waiting on as well, was sort of the definitive evidence that they were going to be profitable on streaming. I don't even remember if I started pulling the trigger just before or just after the earnings actually came out, but I was assured that they were on target for it. Actually, it was Dividend Dude that assured me that they were on target for that profitability and that they were going to hit it, even though he's not even in the stock anymore. So
he'll be in it.
Maybe that's why I trusted it. But
nah.
and also I needed them to be under 100 still, $100 per share, and they've been under 90 a number of times recently. So I've got the profitable streaming and the stock at the price I want. So I'm pretty happy to be in Disney right now.
So it was one of the earliest positions that I started in 2020. I bought it like $100, and like, this is bad. Aria, I know you're going to grimace at this. I may or may not have bought it like 185 high in 2021. Not a lot, but enough where I'm still down 20%. So it was just one of those companies I just held for a while because I don't want to sell it at like a crazy low like that. But obviously 2024 was like the giant year to pay attention to. This is like make or break. It's like, right, they don't execute this year. We talked about it, Fiscal. Literally, you look back at our shows a year ago. You know, I was debating selling it, I'll be honest, but I mean, like, there was a very real deterioration in the quality of their films. Nobody was going to the theaters anymore. Nobody cared about them.
There was the deterioration of their margins. That was the big thing. Yeah. COVID hit those really hard. And I would just encourage everybody that wants to know if Disney's going to get back to their previous levels of profitability. Look at the pattern with the operating margins first, because they're actually already higher than they were in 2019. 2019 is the year before they took a giant dump. So I think it'll take actual net income and free cash flow a little bit of time to catch up to that, but I'm pretty assured now that streaming's profitable that it will.
Do you mind if I share the screen here? I think we'll look at some of these. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Can you guys see this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. So it's the operating margin you're talking about. And you could see pre-COVID north of 25%, extremely healthy. That's Google-like operating margins for a brick and mortar parks business. You know what I mean? Like, in essence, of course they got the movies and whatnot, but yeah, like. Got another one?
New channel member, Mr. Seymour Duck. Welcome in, buddy. Now we're at 8, so we're 2 away, everybody, and drop a wrestling move for me to do. I might even do one tonight at the end again. Thank you, Seymour Duck.
4P is not even that bad, by the way, guys. Like 18 at today's prices, like it's not expensive.
That cash flow explodes in a year or two. Oh.
Yeah, we could pull that up here as well.
And that was another big thing. Like they at the beginning of this year, they reinstated the dividend, I believe in December, maybe last December, they reinstated the dividend. It's nice. You're not going to base your entire thesis off of it. Then what really got me excited is that they announced a giant buyback program. That got me hyped up as well. And then 7 to 8 billion free cash flow reaffirmation they had in Q1 or Q2 earnings. That got me full on board. They've since slashed that, but I don't care. But because it's relatively short term, I'm still though.
Yeah,
this is free cash flow projections, by the way.
So, and I don't know if your data feed is showing something maybe slightly different from what stock analysis is showing, but the most recent quarter, I'm getting a just under 15% operating margin, and the last 2 quarters of 2019 were 13 and 13.5%. So looking at the quarterly,
my thing's on annual, so I'm sure it's
I'm sure they probably did better in the first half of 2019, and that's probably where it's coming from. But
yeah, I have just shy of 15% operating margin in the most recent quarter.
Yeah. So that on that basis, if Q3 and Q4 of 2019 were 13 and 13.5%, and Q2 of this year were up to almost 15%, I'm like, okay, it's going in the right direction now.
Definitely. Yeah. I think it looks good. Green light on my end.
It's an exciting holding.
What is this? Another one?
I know you missed it, Fiscal. I did my alarm in the middle of the financial.
I was busy pulling up the numbers on Disney.
Yeah, no, it was. I know you missed it. Thank you very much, Seymour Duck.
Wow,
we appreciate it. Welcome.
Have we ever had a double before?
I think like after the show, but not in the show. We're hitting records right now.
I know. This is what a time to be alive, guys.
I know. We could do the pancake reveal pretty soon, guys. By the way,
I think we should.
We wait for Aria to get back to do it. But yeah, no. Honestly, though, Disney's a fun holding. Have you added to any this week?
No, this week I actually, luckily, I added to Amazon just before it rocketed up $6. But I'm prioritizing getting Amazon to 100 shares before it gets up to 200 again. I'd like to keep my cost basis below 200 on Amazon. Yeah. So, yeah.
Spoiler alert, but my portfolio hit 30K for the first time.
Ooh, that's impressive.
I had a deposit and the market ran up.
Yeah. I do want to get same thing on Disney, like 100 shares before it hits $100 a share again. So that, because I do believe there's a lot of beautiful, beautiful upside there, and I'd like to capture as much of it as possible.
Yeah.
But it's about figuring out what maybe to consider moving out of to make that happen.
I know. Yeah. It's been an era of consolidation for me for sure. It's
tough choices though.
I know. It sucks. You hate to sell out of companies, especially when they're like good, like Costco too. Like you don't want to sell out of Costco, but sometimes the market gives you a price and you can't say no.
Oh, baby, a triple.
I know why you took your camera off. You didn't want to see the internet to get your IP or to get your debit card information. You're gonna get wow. This is insane. We're one more away from me doing a crazy wrestling move tonight, everybody. But now
What? That wasn't even good enough. You got to do it again for me. There you
I'm
go.
gonna get canceled, dude. I'm gonna have a bunch of Native American indigenous people outside the house tomorrow.
Also,
offensive.
just to add into the member offer, I will do lines from Arnold Schwarzenegger movies upon demand. So, I've seen pretty much all of them. Unless you give me something, unless it's something really obscure, I'll probably know the line.
Wrong lines. My bad. I thought. Oh man, I thought you were gonna say. Oh, I thought too early there.
Ryan, I don't mean to steal the spotlight here, but it's a very special stream. I hit 2K on Twitter, and I've just hit 1,700 on YouTube.
Wow.
You're
hitting dividend dude numbers now. It's big stuff.
Incredible, dude. It's wild.
How do you get monetized on? Are you monetized yet on Twitter?
No. So the way you get monetized on Twitter is you basically reply to big accounts very early on, and you got to say something like a little bit humorous, witty, that type of stuff, and it just picks up on the algorithm and it goes from there.
Stupid.
I've had a few of my replies blow up, but like I don't have the minimum number of followers or anything, so I just got to keep doing what I'm doing, I guess, and build those followers.
To give you an idea, I'm at I think 3.1 or 3.2 million, 3.1 million impressions in the past 3 months, and you got to get to 5.
Yep.
So,
whenever we have a record number for channel members this show, I'll be doing the Trump dance to YMCA at the end. I'll be doing that. That's all you guys get tonight. And the wrestling move on top of that, maybe if we get 10.
Don't sleep on the Arnold lines either, people.
Yeah.
I mean,
all right.
So let those fly whenever.
Since we technically have a channel member on the show, while he was gone, we wanted to, actually, did you hear what we were going to do, Aria? Were you really gone, or were you just getting?
No. My wall was in the car. I went to get it. So I was actually gone.
Where's your car parked?
On the driveway.
Leaving your wallet in your car in Toronto?
Yeah.
Wow, we live in different parts that.
And what was your address again? For no particular
reason. You're not by Rexdale by any chance.
Oh no! How do you know about that? That's incredible.
I'm a Nav fan.
Nice. Yeah, no, definitely not there. Very, very far away, actually.
Yeah, you can't.
Oh, speaking of Disney, by the way, this is a shirt full of the Disney villains. I don't know if you can see it very clearly.
This is an official Disney shirt.
Yeah, I got it. I bought it at Target also, by the way. Just so you know.
Oh my goodness, 2 birds,
one stone. Multiple stocks that you're invested in. Wow. So
when I sell Target, that's going to be a sad day, man. I'll be honest. It's going to come, but it's going to be like, I've hyped this company up. I feel bad. I've helped people. The people that bought it at 105, I remember. They'll remember me. No,
yeah, you were the one saying, add more. It's a bargain at this price. I was agreeing with you, by the way. If you were already in Target, that was the time to add.
It was. That was not that long ago either. It was like less than a year.
That's wild. Yeah, it was last fall, man.
Really wild how things change like that.
Yeah.
All right, we'll do the pancake cooking competition. Aria was gone. We said that we'd do the pancake cooking competition. So this is based off of aesthetic. Unfortunately, at this point, we can't really do it off of like real life.
Unless Google invents something that lets us do this. Yeah.
Oh.
I can't do this anymore, dude. All right, Bacon. Bacon's a wrestling fan. What move do you want tonight, Bacon? This is wild. I'm selling myself. I'm going to become a professional wrestler.
Maybe for 10 we need to get together, put up a Hell in a Cell, and I need to dress like the Undertaker and throw somebody off of it.
Screw Kanky. Seal the deal. Okay.
My God, my witness is broken in half.
I'm gonna do a Sister Abigail finisher on Fiscal. I don't know. I'm gonna come out from under the ring. Swanton bomb. Oh my God. Oh my god, I should. I totally should. Okay, I'll do that. I'd have to. Oh my god, how is this gonna work? I might have to go from the top of the couch. Okay, well, we'll figure it out. But pancake cooking competition. This is based off purely aesthetic, everybody, by the way. Size does not matter in this one. It's more about
That's what she said.
you need to look at how they're cooked, look at like what would you rather eat? It does not matter the size, no matter
And
how
we each get to describe our spread as well.
Yeah, you got to describe like the cooking style, what you put into it and stuff.
Sure.
So, Fiscal, as I like to say, ladies first. So she'd like to start off first. I'm joking.
All right. What we have here is these are Kodiak protein pancakes. So it's a higher protein content mix using all whole wheat. And there's, I think, like some type of a whey protein component that's mixed in with the whole wheat powder stuff. Also, I prepared it with 2% Carb Master milk from Kroger, which has less sugar than other milks, but it still has like the milk fat and everything and more protein content, of course, because it's all about the protein on this channel. And I also used an egg in there because that's an option to add even more protein and to make the batter extra thick and awesome. So I thoroughly buttered a simple stainless steel pan, and I put accidentally I meant to do 50-50 because everything's 50-50 on this channel here. And I accidentally put 40% in the first pancake and 60% in the second one, which made the second one a little harder to flip. So the aesthetic on the second one is not quite as good. After they were thoroughly cooked to a fluffy consistency, I put a small pat of butter on each and also topped with Oikos 000 vanilla Greek yogurt instead of any type of whipped cream, of course, again, for the protein. And also, there's blueberries in there. These are blueberry pancakes. I forgot to mention that when I was cooking them, I added blueberries. And, of course, sugar-free syrup, which I put on right before I started digging in. And they were delicious. You'll have to take my word for it.
I disagree. I think I can't eat protein pancakes. Like, I don't know, maybe I didn't try yours, so I don't know, but like any protein pancake, like there's not one good, like if it's labeled with extra protein or whatever, I just don't think it's good. I disagree. Only with Fairlife shakes. Only with Fairlife shakes.
No, you're mistaken. Have you tried Flourish pancakes?
No.
They're actually at Costco. They're like, it's like a yellow packaging.
We don't have a Costco here. They're building one.
Yeah. But no, I definitely, I assure you, like the consistent, like I know like a lot of times the extra protein stuff, like the texture seems off and stuff. That was not the case with these. I assure you.
First of all, I was going to ask, is that a Himalayan salt in the background of that image?
Yes.
Did I notice that correctly?
Yes. There's Himalayan pink salt in my salt dispenser. Yes, you noticed that.
I didn't know you were such a connoisseur yourself.
Yeah. I usually use a combination or either or, depending on what I'm doing, of either coarse sea salt or Himalayan pink salt.
Now, Fiscal, have you ever chugged pink Himalayan sea salt before a lift?
Chugged it?
Yeah.
No.
Try it before a bench.
No.
Like, just do salt water. Or you do like a scoop and then you you chug it down.
No. I don't do a pre-worky or
that's a real pre-workout though.
Yeah.
All right. My pancakes. So unfortunately, we didn't have the most amount of pancake mix.
God.
But how we say on the channel, size does not matter. Just like our channel membership amount of dollars, it does not matter. And I did this more as a dessert the other night. It was like 9:15 when I made them. So there we go. We got the dividend dog understanding he uses the pink salt. So you guys got to understand. I didn't
photography. Some questionable photography over here.
You like that?
No.
we made the rule a few shows ago. You can't do any crazy photography here. So I was very low on pancake mix. Once again, if you guys are one of the new channel members, you would be able to see in the chat or in the exclusive, basically, that you could see our cooking processes. Fiscal had a little recap video for all of us. I shared some videos of me flipping the cakes if you're into that kind of thing. So what I did, I didn't have the most amount of batter to work with. So I did 3 mini cakes. I used the Aunt Jemima, whatever the mix. It's not the complete, it's the original mix. And then you had to add in like an egg and some other stuff. So we had to make the mix there. These are mini cakes, and I put, instead of using like Pam spray, we have a nonstick pan, so I put butter in as basically the for it to cook on, and it smelled very good. That's all I gotta say. It smelled very good. So the butter will enrich itself into the batter. From the batter, I put it on the stove for approximately 1 to 2 minutes until the bubbles properly foiled up. And I got Hershey's chocolate bars. We didn't have chocolate chips, so I used Hershey's chocolate bars, and I cut them into about probably like 24ths, honestly, and threw them in there. And the only put some butter on the top of the one that's already melted by then, and drizzled it in a light Miss Butterworth's, as you can see there, maple syrup. But yeah, unfortunately, I was a bit limited that night in terms of how much I could make. If I could, I would make bigger ones, but you got to keep in mind, size doesn't matter here. It's about the girth, about the so how thick and tasty and fluffy the pancakes are.
Mm-hmm.
I let that one slip. So I will be putting a poll in the chat right now. Who has the better pancake? And you got to vote. I don't want to have any bias here, but I think it's me. No, I think it's a pretty even matchup. So there you go. There's your pancakes. I know you can't use the Aunt Jemima name again anymore. I guess that got canceled, so I can't say that.
Our favorite carnivore left a pancake related comment.
Oh. I would make a big beef pancake so it's not full of cancer causing poison.
Damn.
Well said. Well said.
I think it's just called a burger patty. I don't think it's called a
burger patty.
I don't think it's called a pancake at that rate.
No, could you imagine if we had a restaurant, we just called it a meat pancake and just let people guess what that means?
Yeah. What do we vote our next cooking competition should be, everybody?
How about eggs?
Oh,
no, come on, man.
Oh,
or
man.
steaks. I mean, really anything. I've
been
burgers. I've been cooking since before you were alive, son.
I'll take you. You want to chirp? We could chirp, okay? We can chirp, okay? All right. That's below the belt. No. I mean, I think a burger would be good. This Nate just brings up burgers. I think a burger would be a good competition.
A burger competition.
I agree. I think a burger would be definitely.
All right, then you're on. I do burgers usually at least once a week, so got a lot of practice.
Well, you know what the saying is: if you don't lose it. If you don't use it, then you lose it. Fiscal. So
it's true.
Just know I'm coming, and I'm coming hard.
Really, really hard.
Aria's facial reaction. I'm just watching it. That's a UFC.
Oh yeah. Well, as Hulk Hogan once said, "I'm gonna get off by cranking your knob just a little beyond the breaking point."
We are an hour 28 in with 237 people in here. We appreciate all the support. Aria, is there any last investing topics of discussion you'd like to discuss?
We never really covered Amazon, did we?
Yeah.
Not in depth.
Or Starbucks stealing the CEO.
All right, we'll cover it. I'm here for it. We'll start with the big topic. I think we go Amazon. Since you were last on the show, I've started and initiated an Amazon position that has grown to around $1,100 and growing.
That's it.
I'm buying more.
All right.
Honestly,
than
I mean,
Target.
and this is, you don't have to do this, Ryan, but if I was you, I would immediately eject all of my Apple and put it all into Amazon.
I'm in the same boat. It's what is it? Same valuation, except one grows 3 times as fast.
No. Well, it depends on which ratio you look at. I believe Apple is at like 30 times both free and operating cash flow because they're basically the same.
It's
And
extremely
Amazon,
capital light. Yeah.
yeah, and Amazon's at like 17 times operating
I'd
cash flow.
consider
So
trimming some of my Apple.
the actual business, you know, when you don't have the capex, actually, it's a cheaper multiple for Amazon if you look at it in that way. But then again, the capex is a
maybe
real
I'll
thing.
trim Apple. Maybe
They
I'll
should
trim
get a
Apple.
return on
Ryan?
all that capex later, though.
Ryan, why are you so attached to Apple?
It's an awesome business. I've been in it forever. I've been in it. It's one of the OG stocks. I love Tim Cook. I love their buyback program.
But
I love the AI thing.
Is the fact you've been in it forever the best possible reason to still be in it today?
I just don't think it's hit a price where it's like obnoxiously a sell. I think it's overpriced. Trust me.
It's not obnoxiously overpriced. Are you sure about that?
I don't know. It's a great company.
But have you heard that Buffett sold half of his?
But they have the new iPhones coming out soon. You know what? I'll say this. How about this?
Have you heard about the new iPhone?
When's the new iPhone event coming? It's this week or next week.
Yeah.
Right?
No, I don't
Yeah.
know.
Okay.
It'll
34
go up after that.
34 PE, 33 price to free cash flow, 30 price to operating cash flow. I mean, ugh. All right. 30 times operating cash flow for Apple or 17 times for Amazon. What do you think sounds like the better deal?
SEG. That's what I think sounds like the better deal.
Or
I would probably only.
Okay. But what about if you want to look at like surface level valuation metrics, okay, the PE for Apple is 33, and Google is 23. Make that make sense.
Yeah,
the last time I did add Apple, it was at 170, Alex. Our only Twitch viewer says Apple's lost. I disagree. They haven't improved their existing products much at all. Series is actually much worse than it came out. I think that I disagree. I don't know.
I mean,
it's kind of a hard barrier to beat.
Yes, every single year there are millions of people that will continue to pay for an iPhone that has a number that's one higher and a marginally better camera. That's true.
That's right. Oh man, it's just,
and yeah, their cut of sales on the App Store is pretty overpowered. I'll give them that too. But
actually, something fun I found out about today. Do you guys know like Clash of Clans, Clash Royale?
Yeah,
you know those.
Yeah,
games, right?
I used to know some people that were playing that stuff.
Yeah. So, and initially I only thought like Spotify was like basically the only company that like kind of, I guess, forced its users to go onto the web browser to open up a account, so they avoid the 30% Apple tax. Otherwise, how are they going to even compete with Apple Music?
Yeah.
Apparently, a bunch of these gaming companies have started to do the same. They don't force you to go to do microtransactions off the website, but they heavily encourage it by giving you like extra like 10% points or like extra drops and whatnot.
Yeah, they give you more like bonuses for doing it on the web instead of through the
exactly.
App Store. Yeah,
and I don't know. I just found that interesting that like I never considered that angle of things when it came down to the Apple.
Yeah,
tax.
because if you charge that fee, like they're gonna do, like companies are gonna try to find some way around it.
Yeah,
it's natural. That's capitalism.
Wow, Liberty Twitcher, millions off Apple. If you've really made millions off Apple, prove it by buying a channel membership. That's douchey. I'm sorry. That's the first thing I thought, though.
That's funny.
Alex, who I don't think has made millions off Apple. Actually, he bought a 170, so there's a chance. Saw a lot of iPhones this time around, but we'll see. It's just like, at what point? What can they do more? But they've continued to kind of prove me wrong in that. A lot of people. I love you, Dan. Thank you. No Diddy. That's right. Starbucks and Apple. That's all I need. take profits. There we go. There's actually more Android users than I thought, but I think it's generation.
I would love to get a Pixel next time around, dude. It's half the price for just as good a phone.
I have
not a lot of people are that patient.
S24 Ultra, which
it's probably more expensive.
Actually, yeah, the S24 Ultra it's like a $1,400 phone or something. But my carrier gave me $1,000 discount. So
wow. Nobody likes a bragger.
Yeah. But I'm probably overpaying for my my plan, so they get you somehow.
Facts.
There's no free lunch.
Maybe I don't know if I'd ever sell out of it completely. I bought at 168 and 170 that area when it dipped in like the spring. I don't know.
Yeah. It's also I will say this: no case. I raw dog.
Wow.
And I have dropped it a number of times. No cracks, nothing. Like if it was an iPhone, it would have shattered into a million pieces.
Stop it! Apple has great glass through Corning. I wonder how Corning's doing. That used to be an interesting holding.
Ryan, which do you think outperforms from today's prices between Apple or like Amazon or Google? I think that would probably guide your decision there.
I don't
be honest here.
My basis is good. My basis is really
good. That doesn't matter though.
Today?
Yeah, it's from today's prices.
Like over the opportunity 5 years from today's prices, what do you think has the best chance?
5 years today. Am I investing from 5 years today, Fiscal?
Well, that's like on the far end of what you can reasonably project. That's why I use that time frame, right? Like you to try to guess what a company is going to be earning 20 years from now, and you will be so far off the mark, it's pointless.
I'd argue even 10 years from now, like, dude, it's so many things could change.
Yeah, and then like 5 is really stretched. Like that's on the far end of what you can.
SHG.
Yeah. Now, even if you
not get exposure to all of them though, and buy SHG.
Now, if you extended, if you extend the timeline to 10 years though, I will confidently say Amazon over Apple.
Okay.
But by what amount, the exact numbers, I would not even dare to try to predict.
Can I ask, how did you guys both become suddenly so interested in Amazon?
This guy.
So, I suppose, like, I was convinced to take a closer look at it based on some people whose intelligence I respect a lot. You can even count yourself among them, right? Because I'm pretty sure we had talked the first time beforehand, but I talked to some other people as well behind the scenes, people on my Discord that I know and respect. And I was basically encouraged to look a little bit deeper than the surface level valuation, because of course it looks expensive. It doesn't show up on what I might put into like a screener or something, because if you're screening for free cash flow, for example, it still looks expensive in that way. And when you look at what their, especially their operating cash flow, and you compare it then to other mega cap businesses, it looks especially attractive. And I think it's reasonable to assume that CapEx will become a smaller and smaller portion of their revenue over time, as revenue grows and the need to keep building new fulfillment centers goes down.
I'd probably say the AWS side of things would probably, because half of the CapEx is just purely AWS. But you're right, in the fulfillment side of things, that has continuously gone down the past, give or take 3-ish years, because we could actually separate the two. But anyways, keep going.
Yeah. And I also, fun stat, I looked at historicals a little bit, and I found that both in terms of the price per share and the actual valuation, it is actually cheaper today than it was in 2021, which I found a pretty interesting fact, because obviously it was down in the 80s at one point and then had like this big run up to almost 200 over like a year and a half or so. So it was like, oh, it already ran up. it would be easy to overlook and say, oh, well, I missed the big run up. But when you think about how cheap it is and how his cheap compared to its own historicals it is as well, and how much growth they still have ahead in cloud with AWS, and they're getting into pharmacy, which I think they're probably destined to do pretty well in that, and ad revenue seems like it could be a strong area of growth, which is high margin, right? I got to say, it paints a compelling picture. And have you heard about their memberships?
Well,
and the pricing power in their memberships.
What's the free cash flow going to do in 2 to 3 years? You think? What? We're just put in one word.
Exploded.
I just exploded.
I was going to say.
Oh God.
No.
So I guess you could say it's a bit of a shift in thinking and maybe being a little bit more forward looking. And
yeah. I mean, I before I even owned it, there was a moment we were talking a lot about on the channel. It was like I went out, I was driving home from somewhere and I saw an Amazon truck on a side street. I saw it in the street above, and when we got home, there was a Amazon truck in front of our house delivering something off. I'm like, all right, it's giant. And I think you're really starting to see the Amazon effect go into play with like retail, like Walgreens and stuff. So like, and the thing that kind of held us back, Fiscal, is like we were always talking about its margins, like with the intro video with dividend.
Right. Yeah. I used to see the surface level margin numbers and say, oh, like we're paying this incredibly high multiple. Like, granted, yes, they have a high moat, but very, very capital heavy business, very low margins, and yet we're paying this ridiculously high valuation. But there's a little bit more to it than that, I think. And I think I finally got convinced that it warranted a little bit more of a look, like a second look, and finally gave it one and realized the potential. So there you go.
Then I just kind of realized at some point, I didn't realize how big the cloud business in AWS really was. And I think I watched one of your videos, like the actual giant analysis, and I'm seeing like, Netflix relies on that. And it's just like understanding how reliant they really are. And it's more than just a retailer. And yeah, it's just, it makes sense. And especially when Fiscal's buying it, like Fiscal, respect to you, but if Nvidia went down 90%, you aren't touching it. At least,
if it went down 90%, at least
your old investment thesis, if you're moving away from the cigar butt method, you could say, investing in real companies like Disney.
I mean, I'm still okay to, for example, be in something like MPW or whatever, or British American Tobacco, which is at like 6 times free cash flow. Like, there's certain things where these are not high growth businesses, but I do think there's like some kind of a valuation disconnect. But Amazon, in addition to everything I said earlier, they have probably, I mean, this is arguable, but I think they might have the widest moat of any business currently in existence, potentially, or at least they could be a contender.
I'd like to dispute that. I think ASML probably has the widest. Are we talking like technology or just like as a whole, like everything?
As a whole, everything, yeah.
Oh, I'd say there's way more companies with even wider moats than Amazon. I'd chuck S&P Global up there. Dude, the market share stayed the same for a century. Like they've just held like 45%. Them and Moody's combined 90% market share for a century, and it's like a government enabled monopoly. That's by far like one of the widest moats in the world.
Interesting. I mean, I guess it is like arguable, but I don't know. Like, I don't know as much about S&P Global or ASML. Although I do know I know a little bit about what ASML does because of Intel. Which
oh god,
no moat on
Intel.
9%. But yeah, it does have a, and I've listened to like some Jeff Bezos interviews and stuff from back in the day and realized like how effing smart he was and how he could like, it seems like he really saw all of this from the start. When you hear him talk, it's like his way of thinking about things is it's on a different level. People talk about playing like 3D chess or whatever. Bezos is probably among the smartest founders of any company I've ever looked into.
And he's got a wife.
Maybe not of all time, maybe not of every company out there, but of the ones where I've looked into it and actually heard the founder speak. Yeah, he's wicked intelligent. Now I know he's not like really directly running things anymore, but I got to imagine Bezos is still involved.
Yeah, and then I just loaded up after I went to like 160 on that dip. So it's been a fun arc with Amazon, but it ain't over yet.
Yeah. No, I love the company. It's 35% of my portfolio. At its peak, wild. It was 40.
That's wild.
Is it just because other stuff has grown faster recently?
So Salesforce is a huge holding that has recovered. So that took a little bit of share away from it. And at the same time, Amazon declined from like 200 to whatever it's at now. So the mix of those two things combined has brought it down.
Yeah, Salesforce is actually
I'm doing a video. Okay. Oh. I'm back. Hello.
Whoa.
Mom, get out! I'm on the Cash Flow Kings.
Thanks.
The meatloaf.
I know. I completely relate to you there. With Fiscal doesn't understand. It's a struggle.
No, yeah,
you barged in on here.
I've lived alone for so long that I don't really.
Fiscal, you're ancient, man. It's pushing senior citizen status. What's going on, man?
yeah, definitely.
I'm messing around.
Wait.
Oh yeah, no, really.
Have you heard a tactical shoe shiner?
Yeah, I mean, you want to see a rough 49?
Huh?
You don't understand.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's one of our nemesis.
Yeah.
Okay, but serious investment question. Like, I think we've probably built up the entire stream up to this. Would you rather have legs for arms or arms for legs? Guys?
Arms for legs.
Arms for legs? Mm-hmm. Really?
Mm-hmm.
Legs for arms.
Yeah.
Then in the gym every day is arm day, bro. Think about it.
What kind of hypertrophy method is that?
No, so my thing is with photosynthesis is like when I walk around, I'm just permanently hitting legs all the time. So I don't actually ever have to hit legs because of photosynthesis.
Obviously.
Yeah, because you're just walking around all day. So you're just always hitting legs.
Legs are a scam. I haven't worked legs since like October, and I'm fine.
I've been slacking for a few weeks on legs, and I'm like afraid to do them because every time I take more than like a week off of doing legs and then do them again, the soreness makes it I feel like going up and down stairs. I'm like, I literally am like an old man on death's door, just like
The worst is when you're at the gym and you're watching like Instagram reels between your sets and you see a random video of some guy snapping his tibia coming out of his kneecap on the Smith machine. They lock their legs too. Oh, it's horrible. And then you're just nervous the entire time. No, I can't work legs because for grappling, if my legs get they'll be overtrained. If I do like literally a set of squats, I can't walk the next day.
Excuses.
That's fair.
What was that?
It's a ghost. Legs are a scam. They are a scam. But no, if I do, first of all, I'm already doing 2 or 3 hours a night, basically, of squatting with like wrestling. At this point, if my legs get too chunky and too wide, I'm not going to be able to properly like do techniques from the bottom because opponents will be able to.
Because you know that's where you want to be.
Yeah, you want your legs to be ideally like on lankier. Yeah, but no, you want your legs to be lankier and like you can't if you're especially if you like get too much muscle mass and they're not flexible at all. It messes with you.
Yeah, that's true. Tree trunk thighs have their disadvantages.
Yeah. But no, it's nice. I don't get to work them, so it's a scam. With that said, though, I will not be doing a swanton bomb tonight at the end of the show, but I will be doing my.
I want a refund, man. What's going on?
I'll do it.
What is this?
I'll do it after episode 50.
You gotta call Visa and charge it back.
I know.
I'm actually with MasterCard.
Oh no! Oh no!
Proud to be with MasterCard.
Refund it to the payment process.
I specifically asked for a MasterCard too. They tried giving me a Visa.
That's great.
You refused the Visa.
I refused to get a Visa. I wasn't even an investor at the time, but I still chose MasterCard.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna
wrap it up.
Fiscal, can you do me a favor? Get the YMCA song pulled up.
Oh God.
You want YMCA up?
Yeah.
Anyways,
like from Village People, that YMCA?
It's been a pleasure having me on, guys.
Aria, plug anything you need to before you head out.
I would prefer if you guys go over to the YouTube. My YouTube's link in the description. Yeah, check it out. I try not to waste your time with the videos.
Yeah, I've heard that.
It's the intro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
That's
right.
about it.
It was a pleasure having you on. Congrats on 1,700. All right, wait. Don't get copyrighted yet. That's right. Let me set it up. All right.
You have a big room, eh?
I know. You ready?
Whoa, my bad. Let
me know when you're ready, buddy.
I know.
I'm ready.
Oh yeah, we use more than 9 seconds. I mean, they can take. But I mean, I feel like doing it from my phone through the mic lessens the chance of the algorithm picking it up. Hopefully,
that's great. All right, we have 200. We have 10 channel members now. 256 people watching. Fiscal, good night. When is there going to be a background for your setup?
So I've been browsing different options that I'm going to potentially be hanging on the wall back there. It's probably going to be more like repping my nerdy side before I get anything investing related back there.
Oh shoot! I knocked the water over.
But it'll be good. There'll be something back there soon. I promise.
Nice. Yeah, that's about it. Thank you all for watching for the last 1 hour and 48 minutes. Once again, go check out Aria's channel if you have not already. The link is in the description. Check out both our channels and Twitters at Mr. Macho Mog and Ryan Dangler Show. Thank you to all of our channel members. Check out all of our exclusive episodes. If you have not already become a channel member, you are quite literally missing out on the fun and being excluded. So we'd greatly appreciate that. It's a great way to support the channel and also get the best value for your $2 you possibly can. Thank you all for watching. Smash the like button, subscribe, share the video if you haven't already. Do Dividend Stocks Not Drugs. And of course, remember, cash flow is king. Oh, yeah.